Hello and welcome back to another certified auto chefing video. A few videos ago you saw that I traded my G80 M3 for an older F80 M3. And in today's video we have one task: to make my F80 M3 the prettiest, cleanest and best performing F80 out there. We have to build it so that it matches my G80 M3, which is not going to be an easy task, and we want to do it in under 12 hours. This is going to be a fun one, so sit back, relax and enjoy.
Hello and welcome back. Today is finally the day. After many messages of you guys telling me to finally modify my F80, we are starting this project. We have quite a variety of parts ready for you guys and ready for me to go onto this beautiful car. And honestly, kan du springa med Mitchie på Luban. Anyway, this is going to be the first version of this build, which is going to be the most, well, honestly the most anticipated, because the F80 is a nice car, but stock it's just not really the right thing for me. I think we need a little bit more spice and a little bit extra stuff, and honestly the car could really use some love. If you look at the mirror caps here, I don't know, the car in general has seen some
better days.
Alibaba taillights. The car definitely needs some de-rising work. It needs to be loved. Over all this existence, the car has never been loved, and we're finally here to give it the well-deserved love that it really needs today.
Was, die Seitenmoppe ist mehr da, also das?
Ja, voll. Also ich habe immer noch keine Ahnung, was da passiert ist, aber yeah. We are going to take care of this beauty today. We're gonna make it beautiful. We're gonna give it the life it truly deserves. We're gonna give it a warm big hug from the manufacturer, a warm big hug from all the tuning parts. And then it's gonna be probably my most favorite F80. I have a vision how this car is gonna look by the end of the day, and I think it's gonna be absolutely fantastic. I've been literally waiting for this for weeks because I don't like stock cars, but we're waiting for some parts, so this is why it took us so long.
Die Motor haben da mal nicht taschen, oder?
These are the guys from Autohaus Göndle, and they are here today to assist us.
Ist der Gaps jetzt aber Gündler, oder was?
Yeah, they are here to assist us today because we have some stuff planned. Enough talking, I'm gonna show you all the parts. We're just gonna...
Warte, ich muss mal anders hinstellen, dass wir, weil das ist gar nicht so wenig.
Ja.
Ich glaube,
wir haben uns ein bisschen zu viel vorgenommen.
mir?
I thought we were gonna make this in like one day, but now after seeing all this, I think it's gonna be pretty interesting how we are going to do this. These are all the parts that we're gonna put into this car, in the best case over the next couple of hours, but I'm honestly very surprised if we make it today. But we set ourselves the goal to make it in one day, so 12 hours. Let's go over the parts really quick. We have very many parts. But I think it's going to be worth it in the end. I'm going to go over it really quick, and then once we install the parts, I'm going to show you the parts properly. First of all, we have downpipes here, obviously, 2 downpipes, because the car has 2 downpipes. Then we have some coolers, which are going to be very important, because as you saw in our first test drive, the car was overheating quite a bit. So this is hopefully going to help us with that. We have an oil cooler and a water cooler, a full Venturi intake system. The guys over from tuningtalib.de, they sent it to us together with the coolers. Then we have a full Valvetronic equal length exhaust. And this is going to transform the F80, which is notoriously well known for sounding very bad. This exhaust is going to make it hopefully sound not as bad. We're gonna see how it's gonna turn out. As you can see here with all these like little curls, you're gonna ask yourself, why is it like this? This is supposed to make the exhaust sound better because this is like the equal length system of electronic. We're gonna see later when we install it how it actually works. Then obviously the guys from KW, they hooked me up once again. Best suspensions in the game, so it had to be in the F80 as well. We have the wheels. These wheels were specifically designed for Eddie, for the E36, but they were a bit too big for Eddie. So we thought maybe we can put it on the F80 and we're gonna see how it works. These are 18-inch Mantec wheels. Shout out really quick to Mani from Mantec for making these wheels for us, custom made. I think they're gonna look pretty sick. I hope that they fit on the car. We're gonna find out later. Then over here we have some small parts from BMW itself to make the car look pretty again. Also some in-performance parts and the original lights. And then over here we have the good old option seats, which we also have from my Firebird. I'm going to show you them later on. They're going to look absolutely fantastic. Yeah, with that enough talking, we have some serious work to do. Let's get going. I think we're going to start with the coolers because this is the most important technical aspect, and this is also the thing that's going to take the longest. Really quick before we start our transformation process, shout out to the sponsor of today's video, which is Kali, really simple. You guys know it. They've been supporting me for quite some time now. All you have to do is take your Kali adapter, plug it into the OBD port, take out your phony phone. Yeah, then you select your car, connect your phone to the car, and then you can do diagnostics, used car check, customization, other features. Used car check, really important. I actually used this a few days ago because I can't help myself. I bought another car. I used the used car check. Kali will tell you if your car has been tampered with, if your speedometer, odometer is correct or not. Really helpful tool if you buy many cars like me. Apart from that, you have the customization feature, which allows you to code a variety of different parts in your car depending on whatever car you have. You can code, for example, your belt warning. You can code different features for the outside of the car, for your lights, whatever. Everything that you can dream of coding, you can do it with Kali. And most importantly of all, the diagnostics feature. Since this car has been not tampered with because we haven't touched anything yet, gonna check it out really quick. All right, show results. So we have 38 issues with my brand new F80 M3. In case you don't know what's going on, like in our case right now, you have a smart mechanic available. So it tells you what it is, why it's broken, what you can do to replace it. Really nice feature to have if you're not 100% good mechanic, like me, for example. If you don't have a Kali yet, you can check the link in the description down below, or the pinned comment, or this link here, and you can actually save up to 15% with my code, which is OGShefin, obviously. Thank you, Kali, again for sponsoring this video. Let's go, let's get this car into better shape, and let's make even more error messages. Also, der Mann der Stunde heute, Darius.
Darius, ja.
Darius. Oh yeah, really quick before I start this video, really importantly, we had the car with Gönle a few weeks ago, and Darius actually had the pleasure, while we were nicely laying on vacation in Florida, Darius had the pleasure to do a crank hub fix on my F80, because most important thing on this car, because once you spin your crank hub, you're basically done. And especially if you do software and everything else later to it, crank hub fix is very important, because ohne crank hub fix, was tut er?
Einen Motorschaden machen. Durchtran.
Ist so gestört. And here's how this looked. So first thing is already done, which is the crank up fix. Very important, like I said, I nearly forgot about that, but Lucas was actually kind enough to remind me. So this brings us to the first part. Mit was fangen wir an? Kühler. Okay, so Cooler is first. Los geht's.
Ja, mach ich auf, oder? Geht los?
Ja, los geht's.
Kühler kann man schon machen, oder?
Wie schnell geht das?
First Mod dann.
First of all, obviously, this is why the coolers are such an annoying work. We have to literally remove everything. This was the intake manifold that was here. We have to remove also this side of the intake manifold. We have to remove the front bumper, and we have to basically remove all of this to get to the coolers. But like I said, it's gonna be worth it. Getting rid of the Alibaba rear lights. Was kosten solche Lichter eigentlich? Kann ich teuer verkaufen?
Die sind einfach mit der Hand zuzogen.
Das freue ich mich eigentlich am meisten. Spiegelkappen und die Lichter, das ist mir das Geilste. Ich kann eigentlich schon wieder heimgehen.
Perfekt. Alibaba weg.
Das schaut aus wie von einem Skateboard-Video.
Titus.
Das ist im Scheinwerfer drin gewesen?
Das wurde? Ja.
Okay, now we also know why my headlights are fogging up.
Das ist wieder ein Restaurationsvideo. Video.
Yeah, so definitely found out that my car at one point had a front end damage. This here is very professionally fixed. Also the hood, they just dented it out with a hammer or something, if you look at this here. And then obviously the headlight, but just gonna fix it as good as possible and ignore it. I don't know. Yeah, this car has been in an accident for sure. Little front end damage. And I think it's actually Gabriel's car because there's cigarettes everywhere on the whole car. Look how they fixed it. It's just so annoying. They had the money to buy an F80 but not the money to fix it properly. I at least always try to fix my stuff when I break it. Professional headlight repair. So the plan is we're gonna put duct tape over here and then...
Und dann geben wir ein Ding drüber. 2 Komponentenkleber.
Okay. And then hopefully it's a bit better than whatever they did before us. And hopefully I don't have water in my headlight anymore, which is very good. Lebenselixier.
Ja, Arbeitsplatz.
Yeah, so this is actually not so stupid because this is gonna harden up and it's gonna act basically like plastic once it's dry and hard. And Gabriel is gonna put it all over here, so everything is gonna get covered in this substance, which is 2 Komponentenkleber. 2 Komponentenkleber. And then we should be hopefully having a waterproof headlight once again. I have the most important and also the hardest task of them all today. Clipsing.
Ja, genau so. Facelift oder was? Das mag er.
Schönes, also originaler Chromgrill.
So clipst du das?
So schön.
Geil.
De-Ricing bei M3. Ja, ist immer noch so. Ich bin mit meiner.
Wir haben die geilen Accessoires und wir haben alles schon drauf gebaut.
Ja.
Die hat man verkauft. Genau.
Die ist ein Lieb.
Ja, Chefrein Edition. Aber das M-Badge war mir geil. Mag ich das haben?
Ja.
Ich brauche nur das. Okay.
Das kann man verkaufen. Das ist ein Highlight.
Ja, müssen wir aber das Video löschen. Wie nicht?
Ja, der Lack ist nämlich auf dem Teil drauf. Ja. Very annoying. I thought we can just pull the carbon parts right off, but the previous owner was an absolute idiot and actually glued them onto the paint. So now we have missing paint all over here. Aber
Das ist der Job. Hä? Das ist aber nicht die Stoßstange.
die Farbe passt aber perfekt.
Alter, richtig gut abgemischt, Big Fail. Willst du bei uns anfangen?
Ja.
Zum Lackieren? Ja, schaut echt nicht schlecht aus.
Perfekt. Irgendwann wird es nochmal schön lackiert.
Das fällt gar nicht mehr auf.
Nein. Yeah, we're gonna paint this properly eventually, but for now I think this has to do.
Go right back into my phthalo blue, reach right over here and grab a touch. Just a touch.
So, all the coolers in the front are already mounted. Darius, danke schön dafür. We have the old coolers on the bottom. We have the Luftkühler, Wasserkühler.
Zusatzkühler für den Wohl. Ist ja Wasser.
Der große Kühler da oben ist halt einfach fest. Back here you can see transmission cooler. So we have all the coolers installed in place. I'm gonna wait to mount the front bumper because my front light is somewhere back there drying up. In the meantime, we are going to do the exhaust, which means we have to pull out the old catalytic converters and replace them with newer high-tech catalytic converters that are also a bit more lightweight. They are actually better for the natural environment because they actually help the exhaust gases be more clean. So we're gonna install them here and then the exhaust will follow up. You can see the old exhaust is already on the floor. Alibaba, Hauspuff. Schau mal, es läuft. Very beautiful. Arrivederci. Also a quick shout out to, steht das irgendwo drauf? Nirgendwo aufgeschrieben. Quick shout out to Marcel for sending us the downpipes. Pipes. Mir schweißt sie halt. He also made the downpipes for my G80 and I was so happy with them, so I thought, why not just put them in the F80 again? Just for good measure. Honestly, really good build quality. As you can see, everything welded by hand. Very good quality. So the downpipes are installed, they actually fit pretty much plug and play. So that's why we're also using the OEM plate. So this way they can stay in place, and basically now all we have to do is line up the Valvetronic exhaust, which you can see over here. And the reason I already told you why it's so curly like this is because the original F80, they have not equal length exhausts. So this is also the reason why they sound so bad, is because one side of the exhaust is way longer than the other one. And this creates like this very unpleasant sound for the ears. And Valvetronic, what they did, they researched and developed a little bit, and then they came up with this monstrosity of an exhaust. Honestly, I have to say it looks pretty cool, and this should give you an equal length exhaust. So this makes the left side of the exhaust a bit longer than the right one down at the bottom part of the car, so that it matches up with the top part of the exhaust, which is basically all the way up here. So this way we have two equal length pipes going all the way from the front to the back, and this should then give you a nice and pleasant sounding inline six sound. So in theory it should sound way better than before. This part here, by the way, is pretty geniusly manufactured. So das hast du gerade so dermaßen schön lang. Bist du?
Ja, das wird richtig
zeig mal her.
kostbar.
Alter, du hast hinten sogar Haar verloren.
Ich muss in den Krankenstand. Tschüss.
The plate itself is pretty genius. It basically mounts right to the individual downpipe and it holds them together perfectly in place so that they can't move. This gives you the perfect exit point for the rest of the exhaust to be lined up perfectly fine. Very genius design. Exhaust is all mounted and ready to roll. Alter, das ist aber auch gestört hier. Das ist eingedrillt. Yeah, very interesting. The exhaust was actually very, very easy to mount. So, shout out really quick to Austin from Valvetronic. Honestly, I've bought many exhausts in my life, and this was probably the easiest install on any exhaust ever. At first we saw it and we thought, oh, it's gonna be a pain in the ass, but it was actually so easy. Literally took like 5 minutes, not even that. Really cool. It looks amazing. But the main question,
how does it sound? Does it sound amazing? We will find out.
Gib mal ein Licht im Herzen auf. Way better than before. Way better. Das taugt mir. Intro schon noch schön aus. Yeah, this is way better than whatever was on there before. If you are one of those people who prefers to put cheap lights on their cars, you should probably rethink your life choices, because this is just the most beautiful it's gonna get, honestly. Also richtig schön. Dankeschön. In the meantime, Darius is working to get the Venturi intake onto my car. It's truly a work of art, this Venturi intake, and I can't wait to hear how it sounds. Look at this. Absolutely sick intake systems. I have it on my E65 as well. The intake plenum sounds so good. Can't wait to hear how it sounds with the F80 now. I think it's gonna be pretty sick. So let's get it on there and we'll see. Shit. Venturi intake is all mounted up. I thought it's gonna be the easiest job of the whole build, but nah. That actually took way longer than expected, because it was just a whole lot of playing around to get everything to fit properly. But now, once everything is mounted up, it looks absolutely beautiful. Probably the most beautiful intake you can buy. And they actually work really well. And they sound good. We have everything mounted up. We have fluids back in where the fluids are supposed to be. Kühlwasser. Ist okay. Passt. Let's fire up the car and see how it sounds with the exhaust. I'm honestly a bit scared. I think it's gonna be a bit too loud. Um Gottes Willen, das höre ich jetzt schon. Um Gottes Willen. Aber es klingt schön. Let's wait for the cold start to be over. With the valves closed, it's actually really quiet, which is good to know. But then once the valves are open, yeah. But it's a beautiful sound. It doesn't sound so raspy and so like a fart can, like the F80s usually do. It's gonna be interesting to hear how it sounds on the load when the car's driving. Let's get the front back on the car. Then we are ready for the suspension and the wheels. Very important step. Und dann ganz zum Schluss die Sitz. Oh ja. So the front is back on the car, as you saw in the video. Everything together, exhaust is on, intake is on, slowly coming back together, which means now it's time for the important parts of this process, which is getting the KW suspension in the car. Huge shout out again to KW for supporting this build as well. We use KW on pretty much all the builds we do. It simply is pretty much the best suspension company out there. This is gonna come into the F80, and then we're finally able to test fit the wheels. It's gonna be pretty interesting to see if they fit. And then after that, it's time for the small details that play a huge role in this build. KW, let's get into the car. Let's go. Engine bay is complete again. Lots of carbon going on here, pretty nice. Spaltmaß einstellen, sehr schön. Funny thing is, we did like 8 hours of work and the car looks exactly the same as before. The only thing different is the lip in the front. Also, und die Nieren stimmt. Apart from that, if you close the hood and if you don't look underneath the car, nothing has changed. But now the important step comes, because we have the suspension installed as well. Sehr schön eigentlich, ja. Now we have to see how well the wheels fit on the car.
Ich kann sagen, es schaut aus, als waren die Föhn für das Auto bestellt. Von der Eibristiefen. Optisch weiß ich nicht, ob es so gefällt, aber Eibristiefen passt gut.
Let's put the wheels on the car and then we're gonna find out more. Then we have to do the interior. The car looks so beautiful, by the way. Bist nicht zufrieden mit dem Spaltmaß?
Also mit so einem Finger in der Hose.
A lip in the front looks actually really good. We did a little bit of a mistake by pulling off the carbon here. We found out because also the carbon needs to be on here for the slip to work, but we're just gonna ignore that for now and we're gonna fix it in the future sometimes. Perfect. Time for the wheels. Ich bin gespannt. Also wir müssen mal. Also wir müssen mal so viel weiter runter mit dem Fahrwerk. Alter, Ausstand ist schon sehr sexy, muss ich sagen.
Voll.
Bist du deppert, aber trotzdem.
Ja, aber was du jetzt ausschaut wie ein Driftauto.
Ja. Übrigens, schaut mal, wer schon wieder da ist. Unsere 2 Lieblingsleute.
Servus.
Nice part about coilovers is you can play around with them a little bit to get the desired height. But I'm actually really happy how it looks with the 18 inch so far. So, moment of truth. I have to say the wheels themselves, they look absolutely amazing. I love the design. It kind of looks like a F40 wheel. Perfekt. Besser geht's nicht. Wirklich. Das müsst jubeln, oder? No, car looks absolutely amazing. I think the 18-inch wheels are honestly, with the meaty tires, probably the best setup for the F80. Some say it might be a bit too small, but I love it. Gonna move it out the lift really quick so we can get the seats and everything better installed. Today is a very long day, but I think it was worth it. Schaut aber echt schön aus. Gonna need some spaces in the front, but the problem is we have the spaces, but we don't have the matching bolts to go with the spaces. We're gonna go in the dyno anyway with the car once it's finished. So before that, I promise you guys I'm gonna put spaces into the car.
Ganz wichtig, am Sonntag um 9 Uhr auf die Nacht noch Gas geben. So, ich mit der Hitten.
It's getting pretty late now. And honestly, I am der Auspuff hoch. Honestly, I'm very, very tired. Anyway, it is time for the seats now. Shout out really quick to Option Drift. We have the same seats on the Firebird, but only in red. I think they look absolutely sick. And they're gonna look pretty cool in the car. And quick shout out to Soki, whatever, Speed Engineering. He was kind enough to provide us with some seat rails to put the seats, and in theory they should mount directly to the OEM seat sliders, meaning that we should have electric seats. Very interesting setup. Problem is we need some of the motors to move the seats, obviously. Right, seat is removed from the seats, Schiene. Wir Meerjungfrau. Very light seats. If this works like this, it's actually pretty simple, but I have the feeling that we have to do something else as well. Thanks to the Speed Engineering kit, they deliver this to you. And basically these 2 cables, they go into the engine. And these 2 cables, they go into the yellow part here. So this one and this one. And then you can just put the seat on top, and then you have an electric sliding bucket seat. Perfect. Sehr schön. Now the only problem is that the seats don't fit into the rails, so we're gonna have to do a little custom fabrication because the rails are too wide for the seat. About this much is missing to the seat itself. No matter how we turn the rails, they have to be like this because of the belt, obviously. And yeah. See you guys tomorrow. Yep, the F80 is somewhat ready now. We're gonna drive it now to Munich to TPS performance, and we're gonna do the last little modifications. I think we're gonna adjust the suspension a little bit because the front is literally, yeah, it's extremely low. I don't really know how we're gonna make it. I hope we're gonna make it without losing the lip to Munich, but this is gonna be quite an interesting task. Mani and Most, this is Most by the way, they mounted the seats for me, and I have to say, it looks absolutely amazing. Seats were a great decision. I'm gonna show you in detail later. We're gonna drive to Munich now. Wish us luck that we don't lose the lip.
Das ist geiles, Jungs. Sitz umbauen. Geile Farben haben schon bis deppert.
Seats look so sick.
Partysitze.
Das Gute ist, bei einem Loch ist noch nicht viel verschissen. Nur das andere muss ja da ungefähr gleich sein.
Nein, das kannst du eben variieren mit den Linkslöchern, die vorne sind.
Ah, perfekt.
Es ist gehärtet.
Ach so, wirklich? Echt?
3 Akkus noch, dann bist du durch, glaube ich. It's time to see what we can do with the dyno. I'm a bit nervous and excited.
Ja, das geht gut.
Party time. I was clouding the light at first, but I think I have to say, schaut schon geil aus.
Ja, schlecht ist nicht.
So ist realistisch. Ist das die Fuel Map, oder?
Ja.
Yep, we are ready to put a nice little stuff on my car. Shout out at this point, by the way, to Fabi from Pure Boost here from Germany, because today is Fabi's birthday. Woo!
It's good, Fabi.
Fabi's not here, he's doing it remotely, obviously. But yeah, thank you, Fabi, for doing me a software on your birthday. Let's see, it's good or not. Dankeschön, Fabi, für 1000 PS, 1000 Newtonmeter. I didn't catch it on video because it was so quick, but the car is flashed. Pure Boost software, F80. I have no more cold start. I hate cold starts. They are so incredibly loud for no reason. And also no more burbles, which is hopefully very good. And my valves to open, which is also very good. Let's see how it works. Let's see how much power it puts down. Let's see how it sounds, most importantly. Okay, quick little adjustments. Meine Ecke. Sind wir wieder da. So far it doesn't sound so bad. The car is pretty raspy down below, but I think in the high RPMs it's gonna sound absolutely fantastic. We're gonna find out. Apparently this exhaust is supposed to make the car sound very close to a GT3 Porsche, which I'm gonna be very excited for. I'm a bit nervous, I have to say. It's gonna be great, I guess. Oh, and by the way, no flames, because we hate flames. It's very childish. Flames are so 2020. Now it's 2025, we don't need flames anymore. Honestly, I think it sounds just bad with flames. So the goal of today is just to make the best sounding S55 exhaust note. And I really hope the Valvetronic helps me do that. So let's see. The sound was not so good because the valves were closed, but the power was very good. We made lovely 500, genau, 762 Ohr, Alter. Also wirklich.
Das ist echt mehr, ein bisschen was geht schon.
Yeah, and it's only the first one, so they're gonna fine tune it now. So let's see what we end up with. But we need to figure out how to open the valves. It's a bit tricky with the Valvetronic, I have to say. Sure. Nearly 800 Newton meters of torque with a stock engine, stock turbos, everything. And 530 horsepower. Should be perfect, honestly. Well, the valves are not open anymore, not closed anymore, so they are now permanently open. And we're also gonna measure the car now with the open hood. Theoretically, that valve should make 570 horsepower, but I also have pretty bad spark plugs in the car, so we're gonna have to change the spark plugs once we get home. Let's see how much it's making now, and let's see how the car sounds with the valves open. Let's go. That is what I wanted to do.
the car sounds so good now. It's not so raspy anymore. It's like a really, really nice high-pitched note, especially in high RPMs. It's just perfect. Kind of sounds a little bit like a single turbo now. It's really, really good. I love it. Or like an RE26, something like that. Way better than before, and way better than most of the other exhausts. Because the F80s, they always have such a bad exhaust note, but this is perfect.
Was? 85. Das macht einen Sinn. Oh ja, Baby. Klappenwurf. Jeder ist happy.
Alright, we're gonna give you guys one more run because I also want to hear it from the front. But I'm really, really happy how it turned out with the power. I'm really happy how it sounds now. I can't wait to see how the car sounds in action when it's sliding up the hills. We're gonna find out hopefully very soon. It's gonna give you one more dyno run. The car looks so good from the front now. I love it with the lip and everything. I hope the lip stays on a bit longer. It's pretty close. It's so sick. I love it. Best looking M3 in my opinion. You can hear how the intakes suck up all the air from the front. I think M3 is the way to go with the F80, honestly. So I can't wait to test this car. It's gonna be so sick. So happy. What the fuck?
My phone just turned off and I don't know if it saved the last video. Probably not, as I know Apple products. The car sounds absolutely insane from the front. I love how the intakes and everything sound. You hear how it's sucking up all the air. And I'm also really happy how the exhaust and everything sounds. It doesn't sound like a typical S55. It is quite raspy at the bottom end. The more the RPMs go to the top, it sounds very much like an RE26 or something like that. Oder?
Ja?
So, very high-pitched sounds, intake, Headlight, 6-Cylinder Sound. Wer ist denn da drin?
Ja, weiß ich nicht.
Kolum ist denn da drin, oder?
Toni, Selbstgespräche. Ja.
Ja, servus.
Ja, so geil.
Honestly, shout out once again to Tony from CPS and
Thanks,
also
man.
to Fabi from Pure Happy birthday once again. Car turned out absolutely amazing. I think it's gonna be pretty cool and I can't wait to test it out properly on the streets. I think the power is gonna be perfect for what we have in mind. Obviously, it looks good, sounds good. Overall, perfect F80.
Oh yeah.
Happy to have the car again. I think it's actually the best looking M3, but that's up for debate. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Tony, for being so spontaneous. We literally no problem. Called him 2 days ago and said, hey Tony, wir brauchen da was. See you guys in the next video.
Light it up for a 50 ball, then I spin it on your bitch. Have my charm like a crystal ball. When I pull up, make a wish. Making it private. Big boy, yeah, narcotics. Put me a trick in the toxic. New York tripping the straight out the faucet. Put me a trick in the toxic. New York tripping the straight out the faucet. Nigga can bite in that carpet. I be too stiff, I give him the highs. Nigga be talking my slide, and I screw the tip and shoot him inside. Brand new coupe, no mileage. That's all the gang and we high five. She give me face in the race. They see me and shoot by the tray. When walking, my diamond gon' skate. They try to revive me too late. I put a cape on the Drake, put a dot on the